Well, my plan totally backfired. It is hotter in Philadelphia than it is in Dallas, Texas right now. Yes, I checked. I'm in the Dunkin' Donut line trying to get an iced coffee. Let me tell you what I did. Okay, so it's the hottest day we've had this summer, I think. And I'm thinking, it's so stinking hot. Nobody's gonna be out today. Like all of the competition, my nemesis, everybody is home drinking an iced tea in their air conditioning, or they're all down the shore, where I should be. But I decided, let me go thrifting. There won't be any competition, and there wasn't. The parking lot was empty, but I got there and I did see, what does my former college roommate say? He calls them not thirsty thrifters. What does he call them? I don't know. But the real competitive thrifters that hang around the back door, you know, where all the stuff comes out, and the minute the people push the cart out, they jump on it and grab. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I know a couple of them by sight, and they were there, and the shelves had been picked over, and they hang out in there all day. It's kind of no fun when they're there because they hang out in the store all day, and they kind of lurk around the carts of the fresh stuff. So I was kind of annoyed about that. I didn't get anything. But I'm going to get this iced coffee, and then despite the heat, that's right, and I don't mean the mouse in my pocket, I mean you and me, we're going somewhere else. So stay tuned. Ooh. Okay, the day is not a total loss because I did wind up with this wonderful mirror, which is going to date from, about 1910 to 1930, probably a little earlier than that, because this gesso work up here and this beveled edge and just the way the frame is done is pretty typical of the first 20 years, we'll say, of the 20th century, 1900 to 1920. Now there's damage up here to the gesso, but I'm going to be able to repair this. It's really not that bad. But somebody did whack the top of it on something. I'm really excited that it's never been repainted. And it almost has if I turn it this way, almost sort of a Gothic. That looks like the back of a church chair, doesn't it? Just like that part right there. There's the back. Yeah. We had chairs like that in my church, Gothic looking furniture. So anyway, beveled mirror, there's some silver loss. There usually is silver loss on mirrors like this. It's no big deal. And it's a nice oval mirror, hung just like that. Let me back up all the way so you can see it. The whole thing. And you can see me too. Okay, we are, so that was a good one. And as I said, there's really the damage on that. I don't like the damage on the top, but I'm going to be able to do the repair work on that. I'm just glad nobody repainted it. I don't even think it's ever been out of that frame. Yeah, those nails do not look like they have been monkeyed with, so I'm excited about that. And I still have to get all these cardboard boxes inside. And then I picked up some styrofoam, whatever you call that. Sometimes I use that for packing. I hate the way it chips off here like this, but sometimes I do need it to make sure things get shipped properly. Okay, what else did I get? Okay, here's a great example of mid-century design, a leaping gazelle, although he's not really leaping, he's kind of just posing in the weeds there. Torchère lamp for a table. Now this one is going to be mid-century and not 1920s, 30s. As I said once before, the leaping gazelle is a prominent motif in Art Deco design. You see it all over the place, and he never really goes away. He still shows up in the 1950s, etched onto little cocktail glasses, ladies' compacts, and obviously lamps. And that's exactly what we've got going on right here. Let's take a close look. It's going to need to be cleaned up. No damage on it. Nothing is missing. pull the reflector off there. Deflector, I'm sorry. I guess it's not really a deflector. Well, yes it is. And just really nice mid-century design. So this is a 1950s. You know, it's a sort of a brushed brass finish. There's a little bit of a dent here in the base, and we got some a little bit of corrosion here. So I'm going to clean it up and make a decision on exactly how much cleaning I'm going to do on it, because he's probably going to be for sale, since it's not really a 1920s 30s piece, but really nice design. This is also a fresh purchase just this morning. So leaving the thrift shop, it has not been a total loss, and I've got more to show you. Willkommen Sie, mein Herr und Damen. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Guess where I am, or from where I have just returned. Berlin. Berlin, Germany? No, Berlin, New Jersey. You didn't know there was a Berlin in New Jersey? Well, there is, and there's an old farmer's market there and flea market. That is where I found all of these things, which I was not expecting. Let's take a look at what I found at the Berlin flea market. Jawohl. It is hotter than hello. Okay, I'm inside, air conditioning, oscillating fan. I'm feeling a lot better. It's almost 100 degrees out there, but it's August. What do you want? Okay, so as it turns out, the flea market was hotter today, literally and figuratively, than the thrift stores. Okay, so let me show you what I got. Now, let's go ahead and you can make fun of me, because you're just gonna make fun of me. I know this does not look like the old curiosity shop. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just not normally something that you see me buy and sell, but hey, they were there, so Joseph Originals. And I got 4 of these. Here's only 2, 19 and 20. I think I have 17, 18, 19, 20. And I could sell all 4 of them, but I'm gonna sell them one at a time for people trying to complete, collections, or to give to specific birthdays, I guess. So here is 20. These are all in really good condition, by the way. Nothing, there were like 15 of these, but a lot of them, heads broken, wings broken, bad news. I didn't buy any of those. I bought the ones that had no damage. Okay, so there are gonna be 4 of these coming up soon. I say laugh because it's just, I don't think you've ever seen me sell Joseph Original birthday angels before. And now something that I'm probably going to keep for a while until I find a mayonnaise set in uranium that's missing its ladle. There it is. The mayonnaise sets from the Depression era had these little Depression glass ladles that went with them. And I know you say, boy, that looks awful strange to be scooping mayonnaise, but remember, mayonnaise in those days was a salad dressing, and it's not like today where we just stick a knife down in the Hellmann's jar and smear it on a piece of bread. Mayonnaise had, if it was homemade, it had a very different consistency. Anyway, so there's that. No chips, no cracks on that. And then also something I'm probably going to keep. I'm always looking for these glass pedestals, and here they are. The 1920s and 30s, and many of the glass companies made these, including Fenton. Now, they're usually not marked, and so I really don't know which company made them, but we've got two different sizes, and there are no chips or cracks on either one. And some of the really nice Depression era art glass pieces would sit on these little glass pedestals. For instance, or for example, here is a new piece of, or newer meaning, it's not, this probably was made in the last 20 years or so, although I haven't looked him up and I don't know when he was making his glass or if he still is. And he is, sorry, this is just what you have to do. I can see certain things, but I cannot read. He is Robert Held, a Canadian. Hello, Canada. Send us some cool air, Canada. But it's been hot up there too, I know. Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining about the heat. Robert Held, handmade art glass in Canada. There's his sticker, and he signs it as well right here. It's etched, see there, Robert Held. And so this is a really nice iridescent piece of art glass, which it's really a beautiful wisteria, purple, amethyst, all the colors of the rainbow. This type of glass has been made for quite some time. And but the example, what I wanted to show you was when you have a glass pedestal and you put, now this is really, the base of this is kind of too big for that, but you get the idea. That just sort of, don't fall. That kind of sets the piece off. You know, it says, I'm a really nice vase. Now I'm a really nice vase. I don't know what these sell for online because I've never bought one or tried to sell one. This is probably going to sell for something around $100 or so. Just based upon, it's just a really beautiful handmade piece of art glass. And that was exciting. I've got to look up Mr. Held and see if he's still producing his fine art glass up in Canada. Any of my Canadian friends happen to know? Okay. I've got some lamps to show you, so we're going to head out to the kitchen counter and look at some electric lamps that are all rewired and for sale right now in the old Curiosity Shop. Okay, Debbie Boone, eat your heart out. Remember she lit up our lives in the 1970s? You couldn't get away from that song. I'm going to light up your life today. We're going to start here with this wonderful 1950s thing. This just reminds me of the shades that were on all those sort of tacky, wonderfully tacky television lamps, TV lamps. This is a metal lamp that would hang over the bed. You remember these. Those are the clips on the back. And this is all in good shape. There's no rust on it. It's got a brass accent there with a darker color patina on the metal. We can see, and don't get blinded by the light. That was a whole nother song, wasn't it? Blinded by the Light. So there's that. And let's turn this light back on. Now you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it. Let's see if we've got the... Ooh, is that it? Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. It's now unplugged and you can see the details of it a little bit better. I've got a lot of lamps here. Let's talk about all of them. We'll do the mid-century ones first. So, mid-century bed lamp there. I'll get you out of the way. Got a lot of extension, a lot of cords back here. More lamps than I have outlets. And then this one, Does have a maker's mark on it. Right now I can't remember. I do have it listed in the auction site. The only thing with this is there's some tape residue that I didn't really get picked off. I've got a bad, wait a minute, that light bulb, oh, okay. That light bulb wasn't fully screwed in. Okay, you're going to have to pick all that tape off. Sorry about that. I usually do that. The bottom won't fall off. I don't know who put that tape on there, but somebody did. And it needs to be picked off. But a nice gooseneck. You can do all kinds of things with this guy. And this is metal and it's all painted. This is not an on-off switch. I said painted. This is an ebonized piece of wood. Nice desk lamp, mid-century piece, and in good condition, all operational. Now let me unplug these. All right, that's unplugged. And get these plugged back in. Where's the other one? I think it's this one right here. Hold on. I hope that clock, yeah, that's it. Okay. I've been working on this clock, and the reason why it's sitting down here is something to talk about some other time. All right, 4 lamps here to look at and talk about. You'll see typical 1940s elegant dresser lamps. When we get into the 40s, the colored glass craze is really starting to wane, and crystal is coming back in vogue. So as we get into the late 30s and 40s, the war years, the pink and the green glass is not as desirable. We did see pink and green and blue glass dresser lamps, but crystal lamps come into vogue, and they stayed popular for the 40s and the 50s. So they're a little chunkier here than what you would see in the 30s. They're etched, and this is glass here. Okay, not plastic. And then it's etched as well. I don't know how well you can see that. And these have been rewired with silver cords, not cloth cords, but vinyl cover, plastic, modern electric wire, but it's silver in color. I did dismantle them and clean them. I always do that. Put them all back together again. We've got wonderful old antique sockets up there. Okay, not brand new brass shiny things, but nice old ones. See? Now you don't get the lampshade. None of these lampshades are for sale because I recycle them and I use them. Lampshades are going to be up to you, whatever kind of lampshade that you find attractive. And it's easy because these are just the little clip-on lampshades. I'm using amber light bulbs. You can use anything you want, of course. I wouldn't go over, personally, a 25-watt bulb on these little lamps. I think anything more than that is a little too bright. No chips, no cracks, beautiful, all clean, ready to go. Dresser lamps, 1940s, and they are nice and tall. With the shades and everything, they're well over a foot tall, probably 15 inches tall. Then, made in Japan. The porcelain is made in Japan, the pottery anyway. And this is a Majolica glaze with wonderful color. As you can see, I think you saw this before. And a wonderful old, I love the socket on this. Let's take a look. Isn't that cool? That is an unusual antique socket. Oops, I guess that didn't help us at all. And boy, you go out to Lowe's hardware, well, I guess I shouldn't name a name. You go to a hardware store and put a brand new shiny socket on there and it looks very gauche. Is that the word I want? Gauche. Gaudy. This is keeping within the age of the lamp. Really pretty, all these wonderful Majolica colors. And we come down to this iron polychromed base. Now you say, oh, it looks terrible, it's all chipped up. Spray paint it. No! Do not spray paint this. If you're going to spray paint this, you can't buy it. From me. You got to promise you're going to leave it like it is. You know, I'm preaching to the converted, I think. Those of you who watch me and watch this channel, we love these old finishes. And just look at that wonderful old finish on this iron polychromed iron base. We'll turn it upside down. We don't see anything on the base, I don't think, except some numbers, and I wasn't expecting to see anything. It's got a electric cord on it that's okay. Now, how am I certain that the pottery is Japanese and not Italian? Well, when I took the whole thing apart to clean it, the word Japan is, of course, stamped on the pottery, on the porcelain, which you cannot see because the hardware covers it. So this was probably sent to the USA and turned into a lamp once it got here. But it was meant to be a lamp, it was sold as a lamp, and it's wonderful. Now over here is Italian marble. I think it's marble rather than not alabaster. What am I thinking of? You know what I'm thinking of. Am I thinking of alabaster? Well, this is marble. Now there is a tiny, the only spot I could find right there. See where it's turned white? There's just a little nick out of it. Not so much a chip as it is just it's been bashed into something. And other than that, there aren't any chips or cracks or damage on it. It really is pretty stuff. I'm sure there's a name for this kind of Italian marble. And it also has a nice old socket. I know the shade really is not the right size shade, so ignore this great big shade that I have on here, which is a little too large for that lamp. But let me get down here where you can see. With the shade on it, it's about a 15-inch lamp. Now that is the only shade, that's the only lamp I've got here with a harp on it, so you do need a shade such as this that fits down on a harp, not a clip-on shade onto that light bulb. So the finial is not included, and the shade, of course, is not included, as I said before, but it's a really pretty, and it does say Italy on the bottom. I'm going to say this is probably mid-century. It's very traditional looking, but it probably dates to the 1940s or 50s. Is my best guess on that. So we've got some mid-century lighting. Where'd that other thing go? Let me move that back in so you can see that one. Some mid-century lighting, yeah, from the 1920s to the 40s and the 50s and 60s. We've got it all covered right here today. You light up my life. Okay, all of those lamps are currently for sale in the old Curiosity Shop. Shades not included. And I want to thank you for watching. Is that going to be it? Or am I going to get into something else? Let's go see. Well, everyone, I hope you're having a safe and productive weekend. Wishing you well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your comments, suggestions, thumbs ups, subscribes, notifications, likes, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. And that's it. Wait for the cat. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now.